The season comes down to this in his car end zone. Intercepted. Jermaine Pratt has it. And for the first time in 31 years, Cincinnati, your Bengals have won a playoff game.
It's an interception. First down, Cincinnati.
Reaches, oh, that ball's out, that's live. Back the other way, Sam Hubbard. The Cincinnati kid. Hubbard's got a convoy. Chased by Andrews. At the 30, the 20, he will score.
Well, those are some memories of mine, my favorite memories from Wild Card Weekend, obviously each within the last 2 years. But unfortunately, for the first time in 3 years, the Cincinnati Bengals will not be participating in the NFL playoffs, which stinks, but I'm still going to enjoy it regardless. But anyway, guys, welcome back to another video. These are my wild card picks of the NFL playoffs. I'm super excited for each of these games, and I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win, and I'll cover a little bit about why. So let's get started. So kicking off on Saturday, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans from NRG Stadium. Well, I mean, the national championship was obviously played there. Unfortunately, Michigan won, and I heard there was some sort of leak, but that's besides the point. We got the Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans. The Browns coming off resting their starters in a loss to the Bengals. Meanwhile, Houston clinched the AFC South because the Jags choked. What else is new? And they beat Indianapolis in Week 18. So this is going to be a great game. Honestly, I was going so back and forth about this. You can argue either team. I mean, the Browns' defense is no joke. Myles Garrett is an absolute monster. But you have to look at their injuries. I mean, like they have like obviously their offensive linemen. I think Conklin was out from the start of the season, and obviously Watson is gone. Joe Flacco's been a great story. I mean, I really don't want him to win a Super Bowl with Cleveland. It's bad enough that he already won one with Baltimore, but Cleveland would be a different story. Thing with the Browns is they haven't really performed against winning teams. I mean, they got, crapped on by the Broncos, lost to the Rams in similar fashion. They've kind of been meh against good teams. They beat the Texans without C.J. Stroud, who's just, I think the Browns, the last person they wanted to see was C.J. Stroud. I mean, he's a monster. I am pulling so hard for him in this playoffs, and I really hope he takes out Cleveland and Baltimore. But honestly, guys, I was going so back and forth. I mean, I think each team has a great chance to win. I mean, the Texans, it's kind of like a when in doubt. I'm going to pick the home team, and that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to pick the Houston Texans. I think it'll be a great game, though. I'm really looking forward to this. I think Flacco can do well against that Texans defense, and I think the Tank Dell loss is going to hurt, but I think Stroud is still going to do his thing, regardless of the Browns' defense, because their defense is amazing. Don't get me wrong. Their defense is amazing. But I'm going to trust Stroud here, and I'll say they win on a game-winning field goal. But, again, I think this game could go either way because both teams are great. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Kansas City Chiefs. This is Saturday night at 8 p.m. This is going to be another good one. One thing I forgot to mention in Browns-Texans, it's Deshaun Watson, even though he's not playing. It's against his old team. This one is Tyreek Hill against his old team, and it's also Mahomes against Tyreek Hill. So I think both teams, obviously, I think both are showing that they were productive without. I mean, Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl last year in a controversial game, as well as the AFC Championship game, but I'm not here to talk about that. That's a different subject for another day. He won a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill had a monster year without Patrick Mahomes. So what has to give here is Miami is just coming to the game absolutely devastated and banged up. I mean, Bradley Chubb is out. I forgot who they lost. They lost one other important piece, but they only have 2 edge rushers is what I've heard. And Kansas City, they got Butterfingers on that receiving squad. Obviously, they rested their starters in a win over the Chargers last week. And this one can go either way. I'm not saying that the Chiefs are miles better than the Browns, or not the Browns, the Dolphins, excuse me. But I think the Dolphins offense can certainly explode. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here only because they're at home. I just don't see Mahomes going out in the first round. That's just a gut feeling I have. I think he showed us that he can make something work. I think they'll just figure out a way to win. It's just like a grinded out game. I don't think it's a blowout by any stretch, but I think they'll figure a way out, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go Kansas City here. Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. So the Steelers, they won because, well, the Ravens rested their starters, and they're in the playoffs because the Jaguars choked. And there's a lot of the terrible towel curse going around. The Titans obviously, I think, had an incident in '08, and which led to a collapse. And now the Jags. Kudos to the Steeler fans for finding a way to, you know, drag Jacksonville forward. I mean, that's pretty funny, and I'd probably do the same thing if I was a Steeler fan. But yeah, the Steelers are in the playoffs. Granted, they needed help from another team, but they did get the job done over the Ravens' backups, albeit. And Mason Rudolph is probably going to make his first start in the postseason. We'll see how that goes. I mean, Kenny Pickett is their. I think they said that they were going to stick with Pickett for the future. We'll see how that goes. Another thing I forgot to mention: T.J. Watt is going to be out this game. The best case scenario is he comes in 2 weeks and plays with a brace. So the Steelers would have to make it pretty far if TJ wants to play in the playoffs. Maybe a Highsmith can make some noise. They have some playmakers on the defense. I think we'll see if Minka comes back. I don't know his status. I know he's been out for a few weeks now, but then you got to look at the Bills. I mean, great. They're riding high off that win in Miami. To clinch the AFC East. They can definitely make some noise in the playoffs. I would not want to play the Bills. So even though I think the Bills are clearly like the better team, I would not sleep on the Steelers just because I feel like they can make it close. I think I don't think it'll be like a runaway game. I think Buffalo still wins, but I would not I wouldn't think they would just run away. I think they can stick in the game if they can force Josh Allen to make mistakes, which he is definitely prone to do. Yeah, I'm going to go Buffalo here, and I hope they win because I just can't stand the Steelers. But I think they can make it semi-interesting. But again, I don't think the Steelers have any business being in the playoffs. They got in because the Jags choked straight up. But anything can happen in the playoffs. But I don't see them beating Buffalo. But yeah, give me the Bills to get the job done over the Steelers. Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Dallas Cowboys. Don't these two teams got some history in the playoffs? And it's been pretty one-sided in the last few matchups, obviously. But one difference, in very obvious difference, Aaron Rodgers is no longer there. It is Jordan Love, who is playing great. He threw for 32 touchdowns, 14 picks this season. He's just just amazing, and it's awesome to see that because always Packers are a cool team. Honestly, I know people do not like Aaron Rodgers, but I think him being gone is honestly a big loss, quote unquote loss. But it's I don't think Packer fans are too upset with him being gone at this point. I mean, they moved past it, I'm sure. And look at the Cowboys. I mean, look, I think Dak has been playing the best ball of his career. I mean, since obviously his rookie year, he was amazing then too. But I'm really happy for Dak. I mean, he's been getting a lot of flack, and obviously being in Dallas is a big reason why. But he's been playing pretty well, and I'm happy to see it. The Cowboys, I think, are. It's hard to see them going one and done, but it's also hard to see them going deep, just because they have not played well against the elites. I mean, they got trounced by the Bills. Granted, the Bills are just hot right now. They've won 6 in a row. Or sorry, 5 in a row. My bad. If they beat the Steelers, it'll be 6 in a row. But it's just it's really, really hard to see them going one and done. But it's kind of I actually am just craving to pick an upset here. It is so difficult because I don't know. I feel like the Jordan Love. I feel like he's gonna just. I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling he's gonna play lights out in Dallas. So this is subject to change. I'm going with the Cowboys on this one. It's like another one in doubt go home team on this one. I know a lot of these are home. I'm picking the home team, but these are actually not as easy as you think. These are really hard. I think the Packers have a really good chance to beat the Cowboys, and I would not be shocked. I might even switch my pick to them. I don't know. I have a gut feeling that they're gonna somehow go up there and get an upset, but I'm just gonna lean the Cowboys just for now. But yeah, if the Cowboys trounce them, I won't be too surprised only because it's like, it's a rookie starter, I should say. It's his first career playoff game. And Dak's been there. He's won a playoff game, but this one could be interesting. And, given the Packers' history with the Cowboys in the playoffs, you never know. Next up on Sunday, we got the Los Angeles Rams and the Detroit Lions, the second NFC matchup. This is really tough for me to pick as well because it's crazy because like Jared Goff, he knows the Rams. Sean McVay, he knows Jared Goff. Matthew Stafford knows the Lions. The Lions, they know Matthew Stafford. It's really tough because it's like I don't know who to pick here because I didn't know who to pick it originally because it's just like obviously the Rams have like the more experience. They won a Super Bowl a couple years ago and they had a down year last year because of everybody was hurt. But Puka Nacua has been incredible. He's just been amazing, and it's been awesome to see him do what he did. I actually went to the game in week 3 and he played pretty well in that game, but we were able to hold him for a bit. But he's been playing amazing, and the Rams are riding also hot because when you get hot going into the playoffs, and that's what I said about that's what I'm saying about the Bills. The Rams are getting hot going into the playoffs. The Lions, they're coming off a win, but you know, do I feel like the Lions have every reason to win this game? Absolutely. They're at home, they're favored, or I think they're favored. I don't know, but they're at home, and the Bengals they ended their curse last year, or sorry, 2 years ago. So I feel like the Lions, like it feels like it's their turn, doesn't it? Like it just feels like it's their turn. But then you got to look at the Rams, like Matthew Stafford. I wouldn't say it's like a revenge game or anything, but it's also like it's more of a Jared Goff revenge game, I should say. But it's really tempting to pick, both these teams in different ways. But guys, this is my upset of the week. I am going with the Los Angeles Rams because I feel like they're more proven right now. I know the Lions tight end. I think he got hurt last week, and that's a big loss as well. I think it's Sam Laporte. It's just like a big loss. I think Stafford has the experience. He's not really a. I wouldn't say he's been clutch. I mean, he was clutch obviously in the Super Bowl, a couple years ago, but he hasn't been exactly the most clutch. But I think he'll get the job done against his old team. Sean McVay knows Goff. You know, obviously Goff knows the Rams, but Stafford also knows the Lions. And I think the head coach and Dan Campbell, he doesn't really have any experience with the Rams, but I know that the quarterback and the coach combo. I think the Rams have a slight edge, guys. So I'm going with the Rams here, and that's my upset. And finally, in the last slate of the NFC, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a Monday game. I think it's the only Monday game. No Tom Brady, but there is Jalen Hurts, who ain't the same Jalen Hurts as he was last year, or even 2 years ago when they played off in the playoffs. These two teams. You got Baker Mayfield, who's had a good comeback story. He clinched the playoffs against the team that cut him. And I'm happy for him, honestly. I used to not be a huge Baker guy, but it's cool to see him succeed. And it'd be absolutely hilarious if the Browns lost and Baker goes further than them. That'd be amazing to see. I would love that, and I hope that happens. You have the Eagles slumping big time. They've lost 5 of their last 7 games. Hurts, I think, dislocated his finger. I think he was able to pop it back in, but yeah. Then you look at the Bucks here. They won the NFC South, but the division, it's just. I don't want to say they won it by default, but it's like it's they weren't they weren't exactly world beaters. Like the AFC North was like miles better than any division, but definitely the NFC South. That's all I'll say. This is actually kind of tough because it's like I want to pick the Bucks, but I also want to pick the Eagles. It's like gut feeling here. I don't know if I can like the defending NFC champs. Like, do I see them going out in the first round like this? But also, do I see the Bucks going out at home like this? So I'm thinking I lean more towards the NFC champions, and that's I think what I'm gonna do here. Just because I don't know if they go out the way like I don't think they'll make a deep run, but I think they'll squeak by the NFC South champions here, just because at the NFC South it just seems very fraudulent. I'm not saying the Bucks are like definitively frauds, but I don't know. I don't know how it's going to translate to the playoffs. I'm not trying to take anything away from Baker. He played great this year. The Bucks overall, like I think they were much better than people expect. You know, you lose Brady and you lose unbelievable amount of pieces, and to get a third straight division title is just awesome. And it's just been a good ride for a good season for them. But unfortunately, I just don't see how they beat the NFC defending NFC champions. Granted, they had so many injuries. They have so many injuries, and they also won the NFC because obviously Brock Purdy got hurt in the conference championship, and I think the Niners definitely could have won that game. But yeah, I'm gonna go Philly here just because I just don't see them going out like this. Would I be surprised? Absolutely not. These are all these picks are fluid. Monday night gut feeling. It's tough, guys. I mean, it's really tough. You can go either way with these. But yeah, these are difficult decisions to make. I mean, but I'm gonna go for this game. I'm gonna go the Eagles, and that'll do it, guys. Obviously, no Bengals here, but I am rooting for the Bills and I am rooting for the Texans because I hate the Browns and Steelers. Do not want to see I want to see them win as many playoff games as the Bengals do this year. And hopefully whoever wins these games, they take out the Ravens next if it's not the Steelers and Browns. Because I don't want to see an AFC North rival win, obviously. But for this weekend, go Bills and go Texans, and hope we have a great weekend. Hope we have a great playoff weekend. Should be, great games. Obviously won't enjoy it as much as last year. We'll see. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm signing off.